Prabhupada. Today's reciters are Seja Manoj Mataji in Sanskrit and Dear Opritha in English from Canto 3, Chapter 22, verses 1 to 16. Seja Mataji, when you're ready, please start with the invocation. Thank you. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tado Jayudiret. Nashyaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevayam Bhagavate Uttamat Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishri. Hare Krishna. The marriage of Kardama Muni and Devahuti. Text 1. Maitreya Uvacha एवमाविष्कृतो शेषा गुणकर्मोदयमुनीं संव्रीड इव तं सम्राडुपारदमुवाचः
Hare Krishna. Sri Maitreya said, after describing the greatness of the emperor's manifold qualities and activities, the sage became silent, and the emperor, feeling modesty, addressed him as follows.
Text 2. Manuruvacha Brahma sumukhato yushmanatma paripsaya chando mayastabo vidya yoga yuktana lambadan.
Manu replied, to expand himself in Vedic knowledge, Lord Brahma, the personified Veda, from his face created you, the Brahmanas, who are full of austerity, knowledge, and mystic power, and are averse to sense gratification.
Text 3. Tatranaya srijasman do sahasrapat hridayam tasrihi brishma kshetramankam prachakshate.
For the protection of the Brahmanas, the thousand-legged Supreme Being created us, the Kshatriyas, from his 1,000 arms. Hence, the Brahmanas are said to be his heart and the Kshatriyas his arms.
Text 4. Ado hinyotnatmanam brahmashatram cha rekshadi samya vyo devasa yasa dasa sadatmaga.
That is why the Brahmanas and Kshatriyas protect each other, as well as themselves, and the Lord himself, who is both the cause and effect, and is yet immutable, protects them through each other.
Text 5. Tava sandarsha dashana deva chinname sarva samshayaha yaswayam bhagavan pritya dharmamaha dirakshisho.
Now I have resolved all my doubts simply by meeting you, for your lordship has very kindly and clearly explained the duty of a king who desires to protect his subjects.
Text 6. Drishto me bhagavan drishto durdasho yo kritatmanam drishtyam padarajaha sprishto srishno me bhagavade shivam.
It is my good fortune that I have been able to see you. For you I cannot easily be seen by persons who have not subdued the mind or controlled the senses. I am all the more fortunate to have touched with my head the blessed dust of your feet.
Text 7. Drishtyo tvayanu srishta aham krita cha anugraha mahan abhavrityo karnarendre jushta drishtva ushadirgiraha.
I have fortunately been instructed by you, and thus great favor has been bestowed upon me. I thank God that I have listened with open ears to your pure words.
Text 8. Sabhavan duhrito sneha pariklishtatmano mama srodumarhasi dinasye sravitam kripaya mune.
O great sage, graciously be pleased to listen to the prayer of my humble self, for my mind is troubled by affection for my daughter.
Text 9. Priya vridotana padoha soseyam duhida mama anichadipadim yuktam vayashila gunadibihi.
My daughter is the sister of Priyavatsa and Uttanapada. She is seeking a suitable husband in terms of age, character, and good qualities.
Text 10. Yada tu bhavadaha shila srudarupa vayogunan asrinonnara dadeshu tvayasit krita nichaya.
The moment she heard from the sage Narada of your noble character, learning, beautiful appearance, youth, and other virtues, she fixed her mind upon you.
Text 11. Tad pradijna dvajagriya imam saddaya ubahritam maya sarva atmanam anurupate grahamedishu karmasu.
Therefore, please accept her, O chief of the Brahmanas, for I offer her with faith, and she is in every respect fit to be your wife and take charge of your household duties.
Text 12. Udyattasya hi kamasya pradivado na shyate abhinirmukta sangasya kamaraktasya kim punaha.
To deny an offering that has come of itself is not commendable even for one absolutely free from all attachment, much less one addicted to sensual pleasure.
Text 13. Ya udyata manadritya keenamasham abhijajate shiyade tadrishyah spitam manatnyava nyayahadaha.
One who rejects an offering that comes of its own accord, but later begs a boon from a miser, thus loses his widespread reputation, and his pride is humbled by the neglectful behavior of others.
Text 14. Aham tvam srinavam vidwan vivahartam samudritam adatvam ubakurvanaha prattam pradigrahaname.
Swayambhuva Manu continued, O wise man, I heard that you were prepared to marry. Please accept her hand, which is being offered to you by me, since you have not taken a vow of perpetual celibacy.
Text 15. Rishi Ruvacha Badam Udvodu Kama Aham Apratta cha Tavatmaja Avayoru Anurupo Savadyo Vaivahigo Vidhi.
The great sage replied, Certainly I have a desire to marry, and your daughter has not yet married or given her word to anyone. Therefore, our marriage, according to the Vedic system, can take place.
Text 16. Kama Sabuya Naradeva Tesyaha Putriya Sama Manaya Vido Praditaha Ka eva te tanayam nadriyeta so evam kandyo shibatimava shibatimiva sriyam.
Let your daughter's desire for marriage, which is recognized in the Vedic scriptures, be fulfilled. Who would not accept her hand? She is so beautiful that by her bodily luster alone she excels the beauty of her ornaments. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay, thank you so much, Narayani Mataji and Urpita Mataji. So beautifully recited. Thank you so much. Priya Narayani Devidasi. Thank you so much. Okay, thank you so much, dear devotees, for kindly joining this evening to hear Srimad Bhagavatam and giving this opportunity to speak few words. Okay, before we move into the Srimad Bhagavatam, we offer all our prayers to the Acharyas, Gurus, Vaishnavas, Krishna and Radharani, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and everyone. Okay. Oh. अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांशं श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांशम्। हे कृष्ण करुणसिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तु ते। तप्तकाञ्चन गौरङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिविकासस्वामिन् इति नामिने। नमो ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन् इति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वतीदेवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। शृणुतं स्वकथाः कृष्णः पुण्यश्रवणकीर्तनः हृद्यन्तस्त्वय्ह भद्राणि विधुनोति सुहृसतां। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवति उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। एते चांशकलाः पुंसः कृष्णस्तु भगवान् स्वयम् इन्द्रारिव्याकुलं लोकं रुडयन्ति युगे युगे। इदं भागवतं नाम पुराणं ब्रह्मसंहितम् उत्तमश्लोकचरितं चकार भगवान् ऋषिः निःश्रेयसाय लोकसधन्यं स्वस्तये नमः। कृष्णे स्वदामोपगते धर्मज्ञानादिभिः सह खलु न शुश्रूषामेष पुराणार्को अधुनोदितः। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। नमः पङ्कजनाभाय नमः पङ्कजमालिने नमः पङ्कजनेत्राय नमस्ते पङ्कजाङ्घ्रये। अति विश्वेश विश्वात्मन् विश्वमूर्ते स्वकेषु मे स्नेहपाशम् इमं चिन्ति दृढं पाण्डुषु विष्णुषु त्वयि मेनन्य विषया मतिर्मदपति असकृत् रतिमुद्वाह तदद्ध गङ्गवघूदन्वती। श्रीकृष्ण कृष्ण सख विष्णुर्षुभाव निधृग् राजन्योंशदहनानपवर्गवीर्य गोविन्द गोद्विज सुरार्थ हरावतार योगेश्वर किल गुरो भगवन् नमस्ते। योगेश्वर किल गुरो भगवन् नमस्ते। योगेश्वर किल गुरो भगवन् नमस्ते। तुलयामलवेनापि न स्वर्गं न पुनर्भवं भगवत्सङ्गसङ्गस्य मत्यानं किमुत यशः। पुनश्च भूयात् भगवत्यनन्ते रतिः प्रसङ्गश तदाश्रयेषु महस्तु यां याम् उपयां सृष्टिं मैत्रस्य सर्वत्र नमो द्विजेभ्यः। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्यनामिने गौरद्विषे नमः। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यमीश्वरम्। श्रीचैतन्यप्रभुं वन्दे बालोऽपि यद्दनुग्रहात् तरेनानमतग्राहव्याप्तं सिद्धान्तसागरं श्रीचैतन्यप्रभुं वन्दे यत्पादाश्रयविरितः सङ्गृणाचाकरव्रातात् अज्ञः सिद्धान्तसन्मनीम् ॐ नमो भगवते राधा गोविन्दाय नमः हरे कृष्ण Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for kindly waiting. Okay, the prayers itself is complete. If one meditates just hearing these prayers, they are incomplete. Okay, that is the essence of Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, so we shall move into our daily topic. Srimad Bhagavatam. So we have been discussing Srimad Bhagavatam, third canto, chapter 22. So in this chapter, okay, where is this one? Yes, this. So the marriage of Kaddama Muni and Devahuti. Kaddama Muni and Devahuti. So today the allocated shlokas are 4 and 5. So just a recap about this chapter. So here Swayambhumanu, he brings his daughter Devahuti to Kaddama Prajapati. And then Kaddama Prajapati, he accepts Devahuti at the end of, and then Swayambhumanu, he retires later on. Of course, there are a few, his children are there. He rules the kingdom. In his kingdom, he's called Barhishmati. That is the Swayambhumanu where he has ruled. And then later on, he retires. So within that chapter, in the summary, so in the previous chapter, he speaks that he has come to see Kaddama Prajapati. So he wanted to give his daughter to Kaddama Prajapati. So far he has just only, he has not yet started. He is now Kaddama he mentioned to Swayambhumanu, whatever the desire you have got and you have come here for a particular purpose, I will fulfill it. In such a way, Kaddama Prajapati, he says. And then after that, Maitreya Muni is describing that whenever Kaddama Prajapati glorified Swayambhumanu, saying that the kings generally they visit the kingdom to see if all the law and order is going well or not. And then he is also representative, Harehe Siktirhe Palini. He is the representative of the Vishnu. Tasmai Suklayate Namaha. So this is Tasmai Suklayate. Yorka Indu Agnindra Vayunam Yamadharma Prachetasam Rupani Sthana Adaste Tasmai Suklayate Namaha. So a king can take the positions of all these demigods and also the Vishnu. Vishnu is the maintainer. Likewise, the king is the representative of the Lord. In such a way, he glorifies the king, and he was a bit shy. Swayambhumanu was a bit shy because here Kaddama Prajapati, he has performed all the austerities and penances. He is a ascetic. Now he is glorifying king, but generally the kings, the ascetics generally they do not receive the king. I mean, they are far away from the worldly affairs. And once, whenever Parikshit Maharaj mentions to all the sages that generally, dear sages, you always keep yourself far away from the kings. And just like a pada sauchad, just like when you wash the feet, the water will be left outside. Likewise, the kings are all, they are very far away from the ascetics. Ascetics are not related to the worldly affairs. Okay, so likewise, that is the position of Brahmanas and ascetics and the worldly kings, people who are in the worldly. So here, knowing that position, Swayambhumanu was a bit shy. Likewise, Maitreya Muni was mentioning. So Maitreya said, after describing the greatness of the emperor's manifold qualities and activities, the sage became silent, and the emperor, feeling modesty, addressed him as follows. And now, once he glorifies, he is now again glorifying Kaddama Prajapati. Brahma Asurya Somukato Yushmanatma Paritsaya Chendo Mahatopo Vidya Yoga Yuktan Alam Patan. And Lord Brahma, to expand himself, Manu is speaking to Kardama. To expand himself in Vedic knowledge, Lord Brahma, the personified Veda, from his face created you, the Brahmanas, who are full of austerity, knowledge, and mystic power, and are ours to sense gratification. And that is the main purpose. That is the first Brahma expanded himself into Brahmanas. And then further, he mentions, in order to protect the Brahmanas, Tatranaya, to give protection to the Brahmanas, he created Asujat Tasman, Asujat, Asurjascha Asman, Doho Sahasrat Sahasrapad, Hridayam Tasti Hi Brahma Kshatramangam Prachakshate. For the protection of the Brahmanas, the thousand-legged supreme being created us, the Kshatriyas, from his 1,000 arms. Hence, the Brahmanas are said to be his heart and Kshatriyas is his arms. Okay, so this way, Swayambhu Manu is glorifying now Kardama Prajapati. So today, further we are moving to the next shloka, that is the fourth shloka. And he says that when there is a cooperation between the Brahmanas and Kshatriyas, the Lord will automatically protect the kings and his kingdom. Likewise, that is the statement here. And the Lord will protect everyone when there is a mutual understanding. And the Lord is the cause of all the cause and effect. So that is why Brahmanas and Kshatriyas protect each other as well as themselves. And the Lord himself, who is both the cause and effect and is yet immutable, he protects them through each other. See, this is cooperation. Okay, this is the shloka. We shall recite the shloka and move into the translation and purport. अतो हि अन्योन्यमात्मानं ब्रह्मक्षत्रं च रक्षतः रक्षति स्म अव्यो देवः स यः सदात्मकः. Ato hi anyonyam atmanam. So hence he certainly anyonyam, each other, atmanam, the self. Brahmachatram cha rakshataha. And Brahma and Kshatram, the Brahmanas, Kshatram, the Kshatriyas, cha, and Rakshataha, and protect. Rakshatisma avyodevaha. Rakshatisma is he protects. Avyayaha, immutable, devaha, the Lord. Rakshatisma avyayo devaha. Sayaha sad asad atmakaha. And the Lord, he is in the heart of all the living entity. And he is also the cause and effect. He is the form of the cause and effect. The translation and purport. That is why the Brahmanas and Kshatriyas protect each other as well as themselves and the Lord himself, who is both the cause and effect and is yet immutable, protects them through each other. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The entire social structure of Varna and Ashrama is a cooperative system meant to uplift all to the highest platform of spiritual realization. The Brahmanas are intended to be protected by the Kshatriyas, and the Kshatriyas are also intended to be enlightened by the Brahmanas. When the Brahmanas and Kshatriyas cooperate nicely, the other subordinate divisions, the Vaishyas or mercantile people, and the Sudras or labor class, automatically flourish. The entire elaborate system of Vedic society was therefore based on the importance of the Brahmanas and the Kshatriyas. The Lord is real. The Lord is the real protector, but he is unattached to the effects of protection. He creates Brahmanas for the protection of the Kshatriyas, and Kshatriyas for the protection of the Brahmanas. He remains aloof from all activities. Therefore, he is called Nirvikara, without activity. He has nothing to do. He is so great that he does not perform action personally, but his energies act. The Brahmanas and Kshatriyas and anything that we see are different energies acting upon one another. Although individual souls are all different, the super self or super soul is a supreme personality of Godhead. Individually, oneself may differ from others in certain qualities and may engage in different activities, such as those of a Brahmana, Kshatriya, or Vaishya. But when there is a complete cooperation among different individual souls, the Supreme Personality of Godhead as Super Soul, Paramatma, being one in every individual soul, is pleased and gives them all protection. As stated before, the Brahmanas are produced from the mouth of the Lord, and the Kshatriyas are produced from the chest of the arms of the Lord. If the different castes or social sections, although apparently differently occupied in different activities, nevertheless act in full cooperation, then the Lord is pleased. This is the idea of the institution of 4 varnas and 4 ashramas. If the members of different ashramas and varnas cooperate fully in Krishna consciousness, then society is well protected by the Lord without doubt. In Bhagavad Gita, it is stated that the Lord is the protector of, is the proprietor of all different bodies. The individual soul is the proprietor of his individual body, but the Lord clearly states, "My dear Bharata, you must know that I am also Kshetrajna." Kshetrajna means the knower or proprietor of the body. The individual soul is the proprietor of the individual body, but the super soul, the personality of Godhead, Krishna, is the proprietor of all bodies everywhere. He is the proprietor not only of human bodies, but of birds, beasts, and all other entities, not only on this planet, but on other planets also. He is the supreme proprietor. Therefore, he does not become divided by protecting the different individual souls. He remains one and the same, and the sun appears on top of everyone's head when at the meridian does not imply that the sun becomes divided. One man thinks that sun is on his head only, whereas the 5,000 miles away, another man is thinking that the sun is only on his head. Similarly, the super soul, the supreme personality of Godhead, is one, but he appears to individually oversee each individual soul. This does not mean that individual soul and the super soul are one. They are one in quality as spirit soul, but the individual soul and super soul are different in quantity. Okay, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Okay, so in this purport, Srila Prabhupada is describing in this first paragraph about the social structure. So this is the Varnashrama Dharma. This is based on the Purusha Subhava Vihitan Yata Varnam Yata Ashramam. Based on the Subhava, the nature of the people, Purusha Subhava Vihitan Yata Varnam Yata Ashramam. And society is divided into Chaturvarnyam Maya Srishtam Guna Karma Vibhagashaha. By the Lord, he has divided into 4. Okay, so in this one, 4 ashramas, 4 varnas. Varnas are the Brahmana, Kshatriya, and Vaishya and Sudra. And from the ashrama side, it is a Brahmacharyam, Grihastham, Vanaprastham, and then Sannyasam. So everything is meant to uplift all to the highest platform of the spiritual realization. Okay, so this is the, otherwise anything who is not in the Varnashrama Dharma, everything below that one, it is equivalent to the animals. Tato Varnasya Chatvaraha, again, Tato Varnasya Chatvaraha. So here, whenever Kapil Bhagavan is describing, he describes all the living entities based on the whether living entities moving and non-moving, whether they have got life or not, and if they have the senses, again, gradually one sense after another, and then whether they have got absorbing the sounds from at the opposite side, and later on if they can see the form form of the other opposite objects, and then whether they have got the teeth, upper teeth and upper teeth and lower teeth, and then they have got so many legs. Beyond that, four-legged animals, and after that, two-legged animals, and then after that, civilized men. Tato varnasha chatvaraha. Brahmaneshu uttamaha. This is Kapila Bhagavan describes Brahmanopi api ved Brahmaneshu api vedajno heddajno abhidikaha tadaha, and who is studying the Vedas, and beyond that one, who is understanding the Vedas, and later on he also Adhaja Samsaya Cheta, who can explain the Vedic injunctions to others. And then later Tato Shreyan Bhuyaha, and then who can follow those instructions, and who later beyond them, who can free themselves from the material entanglements, fruits of their activities. And on top of them is the devotees of the Lord. So Adogdha Dharmamatmanaha. He is the topmost. It is a gradual elevation from the animalistic life to the spiritual platform. So here the Brahmanas are intended to be protected by the Kshatriyas. So Kshatriyas, this is called in the Krishna describes in the 18th chapter of Bhagavad Gita that it is Dhaiva Bhavam. Okay, let me just show that one. This is a Kshatram. Ishvara Bhavasya. So Ishvara Bhavasya is the 44th shloka comes here. So this is the shloka. Sauryam tyoja dhutidhaksham yuddhe cha api apalayanam danam Ishvara Bhavasya. Ishvara Bhavasya means who is always devoted to the Lord. Devoted to the Lord, and also he has got a leading quality. He is a proper representative of the Lord. And here, okay, leadership. Here it is given. Ishvara Bhavasya means the leadership. And here, and not only that, here he should be completely free from the different kinds of personal endeavors. He should be protecting his all his subjects like a children. Apipala Dharmarajaha Pitruvad Ranjayan Prajaha, just like a Pitruvad, like a father, he needs to protect the subjects, all his subjects. Subjects means not only the human and also everyone, all the like the city, birds, beasts, and also the animals. They are also citizens of the country. So one should not disturb other living entities. Okay, and Nispruha Sarvakamebhya Krishna Padana Sevaya. A king, he is always should be Krishna Padana Sevaya. Then when he has got that mood of devoting to the Lord, then he will be enlightened by the Brahmanas. He has got respect to the Brahmanas, and Brahmanas will visit the king, and then they will enlighten him with the proper knowledge, how he can maintain his subjects. Again, there are 7 limbs of the kingdom, and king and his ministers, his wealth and his subjects. Okay, so likewise, and all the treasury. So likewise, there are 7 subjects. I think this is one of the subject, one of the Ekadasi Vrata, one great sage inquires king. Okay, so here, and then when the Brahmanas and Kshatriyas cooperate nicely, the other subordinate divisions, Vaishyas are mercantile people, and the Sudras are labor class, automatically flourish. So, for example, if we observe, even in India, we have got 1.5 billion people. It is not that much easy to manage that many number of people. And people are educated means we can control and then say something, they will hear. But there are so many people, varieties of people. It is not that much easy to control. When there is a proper way of the spiritualized, then it does not only 1.5 billion, even though trillions of people, it can be maintained very easily when there is a cooperation between the Brahmanas and the Kshatriyas. People, when they have, if they are not of the divine consciousness or God consciousness or Krishna consciousness, they will act in their own individual way. In that situation, to control them, it is not that much easy. Okay, so here, people who are taking birth in the Bharata Bhumi Haila, that is again, there is one has to perfect his human life. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, and then help others, paropakara. Okay, so and then here, the entire elaborate system of Vedic society was therefore based on the importance of the Brahmanas and Kshatriyas. The Lord is the real protector, but he is unattached to the affairs of protection. So, okay, all his energies, they work. So the Lord not personally takes place. He creates Brahmanas for the protection of the Kshatriyas and Kshatriyas for the protection of Brahmanas. Atohi anyonyam. And then they cooperate each other, remains aloof, but Lord remains aloof from all activities. Name karmani limpanti, name karma palespraha. Lord has nothing to do with this material world. And who understands that they will be relieved from their materialistic activities or material world. Who understands that Lord is nothing to do with the material world. Name karmani limpanti, name karma palespraha. So Krishna says in the, I think, 3rd or 5th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, who understands that, then they will also be freed from this material world. Therefore, he is called the Nirvilika, Nirvikara, without activity. Okay, so this is the fruitative activities. Name karma phalespraha, not the fruitative. He enjoys. Viharet paramanande govindu atulanayakaha. He enjoys. He has got the spiritual activities, not the material activities. In the spiritual world, he enjoys. Ananda chinmay rasa pratipavitabihi tabhiri nijurupa taya kalabihi. Goloka eva nivasati akilatma bhuto govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. Okay, so he is always enjoying in that mood. Ananda Chinmaya Rasa. Okay, he has nothing to do with this material world. So he is so great that he does not perform action personally. His energies act. This is Parasa Shaktir Vividaiva Shuruyate Swabhaviki Jnana Balakriyacha. He has got different energies. They will act on behalf of the Lord. Okay, the Brahmanas and Kshatriyas and anything that we see are different energies acting upon one another. And then further, individual souls are different. Here in the beginning of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that all of the living entities, I exist before, you exist before. In the past, we are existing in present now, and we will also exist in the future. That means individuality is always maintained. But here in this particular context, Prabhupada is saying that Kshetrajnam apimam sarva kshetreshu bharata. Again in the 13th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, and here in each individual soul, it occupies one particular body. Of course, he is not the driver, he is only the passenger. Krishna is as super soul, is the driver of the bodies. Because as soon as the individual living entity, it wanted to fulfill desires, the Lord immediately gives the permission. Upadrashta, Anumanta, those things. So Prabhupada says those statements. He is a passenger, and one day he must get down from the vehicle, from the body. Okay, so but for now, as long as he is there, when we rent a house, we think that it is my house. And as long as this is my house. If I go and addressing someone, it is my house. But how long you would stay? Just as long as the contract. After that, they will be forced either you have to vacate, or if you don't vacate, you will be forcefully sent out of the home. Okay, so likewise again later on, if it is human body, it will be decomposed and the ingredients are measured back, and again it will be trees, plants, so many other living entities will sprout using the same ingredients. Okay, so and here, individual oneself may differ from others in certain qualities and may engage in different activities, such as those of a Brahmana, Kshatriya, or Vaishya. But when there is complete cooperation among different individual souls, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, a super soul, Paramatma, being one in every individual soul, is pleased and gives them all protection. He gives him all protection. Okay, so that is the Lord is Sarvasachahum Hudisannivishto Matta Smriti Jnanam Apohanam Cha. He is in the heart of all the living entities. Ishvara Sarvabhutanam Suddheshe Junatistati. He knows what to give the because he gives the intelligence, he gives the forgetfulness also. So in such a way, he will if there is cooperation between Brahmanas and Kshatriyas, he protects both of them and the entire kingdom as well. That's why Brahmanas are produced from the mouth of the Lord and the Kshatriyas are produced from the chest or arms of the Lord. If the different social sections, although apparently differently occur in different activities, nevertheless act in full cooperation, then the Lord is pleased. Okay, this is very, very bold statement. When there is a cooperation, Lord is very pleased. Okay, but one must be knowing all these principles before one is going to be king. He must be trained in all the Vedic knowledge. And when you are becoming a Brahmana, you will be given in the Upanayana Samskara from the childhood. Before birth itself, there is a Garbhadana Samskara, and then later on, once he comes out from the womb, and then Upanayana Samskara likewise. And then he goes to the school, learn all the Vedic injunctions, and then he can just occupy them any minister positions and then give the king instructions in his kingly affairs. Okay, this was the custom, but if he's not a minister, then he will be in the temple like a priest or in the society to give instructions to the society. So in the varieties of Brahmanas are there, different Brahmanas occupying different positions, temples and the kings kingdom and in the society to direct the people. Okay, these are the Brahmanas are the leaders. Okay, this is the idea of the institution of the 4 Varnas and 4 Ashramas. If the members of different Ashramas and Varnas cooperate fully in Krishna consciousness, the society is well protected by the Lord without doubt. Without doubt. When there is no Krishna consciousness, then all havoc would come. Okay, so again, these particular instructions, the Prithvi Maharaj, when he speaks in a different context, it comes in the 4th canto, how a king should be, how he needs to look after all his subjects, what he should do, what he should not do, what people should do, what people should not do, as an ideal king. Okay, that what they are very nice. And also one Dana Dharman, Raja Dharman, Moksha Dharman, Raja Dharman. Raj Dharman, there is a different principles, duties for a Kshatriya. Bhishma Dev gives those instructions to Yudhishthira. Dana Dharman, Raj Dharman, Moksha Dharman, Vibhagshaha, Sri Dharman, Bhagavad Dharman, Samasa Vyasa Yogataha. Okay, it is based on the Varnashrama Dharma. He has given all this principle to Yudhishthira. And here, in this paragraph, Prabhupada is describing about my dear Bharata, you must know that Sarvakshetreshu Bharata. So this one particular shloka in the 13th chapter, it comes. Sarvakshetreshu Bharata. So, okay. Kshetrajnam chapi mam vidhi sarvakshetreshu Bharata. Kshetrajno jnanam yattadjnanam matam mama. Yattadjnanam matam mama. So this is Krishna says that, O son of Bharata, you should understand that I am also the knower in all the bodies. And to understand this body and its knower is called knowledge. That is my opinion. Yattadjnanam matam mama. Yatta jnanam matam mama. Can I request all dear devotees kindly follow and try to recite this shloka behind me, line by line, wherever it is possible. Kshetrajnam chapi mam vidhi
Kshetram
Kshetrajnam chapi mam vidhi
sarvakshetreshu bharata
sarvakshetreshu
Bharata
bharata
kshetra kshetrajnyor jnanam
Kshetra
kshetra
Kshetranyo Granam
jnanam
yatta jnanam matam mama.
Yatadjnanam
jnanam
Matam
matam
Mama
mama.
Once again. Kshetrajnam chapi mam vidhi
Kshetrajnam
Kshetrajnam
chapi mam vidhi
sarvakshetreshu bharata
Sarvakshetreshu
sarvakshetreshu
Bharata
bharata
kshetrakshetranyor jnanam
Kshetra Kshetranyo
kshetra
Granam
jnanam
yattadjnanam matam mama.
Yatadjnanam
Jnanam
Matam Mama
matam mama.
Once again. Kshetrajnam chapi mam vidhi
Kshetram chapi mam vidhi
sarvakshetreshu bharata
sarvakshetreshu
Sarvakshetreshu
bharata
Bharata
kshetrakshetranyor jnanam
kshetra
Kshetranyo
jnanam
yattadjnanam matam mama.
jnanam matam mama.
Very beautiful. Thank you so much. So here, this is knowledge. Krishna says that one ocean of Bharata. You should understand that I am also the knower in all bodies, and to understand this body and its knower is called knowledge. That is my opinion. Okay, knowing about the knower, that is the knowledge. Okay. Knowing about the body, it is just useful for temporarily, how to maintain it. Okay. So here Prabhupada is describing that one. So here Lord is the proprietor of the body. Individual soul is proprietor of one individual body, and the Lord is the proprietor of all the bodies. Okay. He is the proprietor of all bodies everywhere. He is the proprietor not only of human bodies, but birds, beasts, and all other living entities, not only on this planet, but on other planets also. Okay, therefore he does not become divided by protecting the different individual souls. And he remains one and the same, that the sun appears, just giving the analogy of the sun. Sun appears on top of everyone's head when the meridian does not imply that sun becomes divided. Okay, in such a way, the Lord is in the heart of all the living entities. Okay, so here, Prabhupada is concluding, similarly, the super soul, supreme personality of Godhead is one, but he appears to be individually overseen in each individual soul. This does not mean individual soul and super soul are one. This is again, if one thinks that, why Prabhupada is mentioning, Paratma Jivyor Aikyam Mayatra Pratipadhyate. So Lord Shiva says to Mother Parvati that the individual soul and the Paratma Jivayor Aikyam Mayatra Pratipadhyate. Whenever he was spreading this Mayavada philosophy in this world, he spread like this. There is just only one. Sarvam Kalvidam Brahma. Everything is Brahma, but it is in the quality. But here there is individuality again. Okay, so that is, if it is otherwise, it will become Mayavada philosophy. So they are one in quality as the spirit soul, but the individual souls and super soul are different. Okay. In such a way, Prabhupada is describing, Ato hyanyonyamatmanam brahma kshatram cha rakshataha rakshati sma avyodevaha sayaha sadasadatmakaham. The Lord will protect when there is cooperation between Kshatriyas and Brahmanas. Okay, we shall move on to the next shloka. So here, Swayambhu Manu is saying further, saying that, oh my dear Kaddama Muni, so because I have come and met you today, and all my doubts have been clarified. They're all now cleared, because you have given those instructions to me, the duties of a king. Likewise, he is addressing in response to Kardama Prajapati. So next shloka is the Tava sandashana chinna me sarva samsayaha yat swayam bhagavan pricha dharma maha rirakshishoho. Tava sandarshanadeva, tava sandarshanad, by your sight, eva, only by your sight to itself, it's tava sandarshanad eva, chinna me sarva samsayaha, all my doubts have been completely cleared out. Chinna is all dissolved, my doubts, because he has been ruling the kingdom. Now, when he has met the Kardama Prajapati, he is reminding all his duties. It is in another way, by glorifying him based on his duties. So the king took it like these are a very essential knowledge for me. Okay. It is not that correctly you have to do like this duty straight away. No one speak like that. Here, they will be addressing the duties in such a way that they will take it as a with respect. There is no pointing here. Okay. And yat swayam bhagwan preetya dharma maha rirakshishoho. Yat swayam and yat swayam. So yat swayam personally, in as much as personally Bhagavan, your lordship, Pritya, lovingly, Dharmam, Dharmamaha Rirakshishoho. You have explained all these duties of a king. So, Rirakshishoho, of a king anxious to protect his subjects. Okay. Tava sandarshanadeva chinname sarva samsayaha. Yat swayam bhagwan pritya dharmamaha rirakshishoho. Translation. Now I have resolved all my doubts simply by meeting you, for your lordship has very kindly and clearly explained the duty of a king who desires to protect his subjects. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Manu described here with the result of seeing a great saintly person. Lord Chaitanya says that one should always try to associate with saintly persons, because if one establishes a proper association with a saintly person, even for a moment, one attains all perfection. Somehow or other, if one meets a saintly person and achieves his favor, then the entire mission of one's human life is fulfilled. In our personal experience, we have actual proof of this statement of Manu. Once we had the opportunity to meet Vishnupada Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaja, and on first sight he requested this humble self to preach his message in the Western countries. There was no preparation for this, but somehow or other he decided, and by his grace we are now engaged in executing his order, which has given us a transcendental occupation and has saved and liberated us from the occupation of material activities. Thus, it is actually a fact that if one meets a saintly person completely engaged in transcendental duties and achieves his favor, then one's life mission becomes complete. What is not possible to achieve in thousands of lives can be achieved in one moment if there is an opportunity to meet a saintly person. It is therefore enjoined in Vedic literature that one should always try to associate with saintly persons and try to disassociate oneself from the common man, because by one word of saintly person, one can be liberated from the material entanglement. A saintly person has the power, because of his spiritual advancement, to give immediate liberation to the conditioned soul. Here Manu admits that all his doubts are now over, because Kardama has very kindly described the different duties of individual souls. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Okay, so here Prabhupada is describing that Manu is meeting, Swayambhu Manu is meeting Kardama, essentially meeting a devotee of the Lord who has seen the Lord already. And then, so here again, now Swayambhu Manu is now speaking to Kardama Prajapati. Okay, so here Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, one should always try to associate with the saintly persons because they are titikshvaha, karunikaha, suhradaha, sarvadehinam, ajatasatravaha, santaha, sadavaha, sadhu bhoshanaha. They have got these are ornaments. What are the ornaments? Titikshavaha, karunikaha, suhradaha, sarvadehinam, ajatasatravaha, santaha, sadavaha, sadhubhoshanaha. Okay, can I request all devotees kindly recite this particular shloka? It is very good and let me just bring this one. I think it is 25 chapter 25. Okay, wherever it is possible, kindly unmute and follow behind me line by line. Titikshavaha karunikaha
तितिक्षवः
कारुणिकाः
कारुणिकाः
suhradaha sarvadehinam
सुहृदः
सर्वदेहिनाम्
ajatasatravaha santaha
अजातशत्रवः
शान्ताः
sadavaha sadhubhoshanaha.
साधवः
साधुभूषणः
साधुभूषणः
Okay, again. Titikshavaha karunikaha
तितिक्षवः कारुणिकाः
suhradaha sarvadehinam
सुहृदः
सर्वदेहिनाम्
ajatasatravaha santaha
अजातशत्रवः
शान्ताः
शान्ताः
sadavaha sadhubhoshanaha.
साधवः
साधुभूषणः
साधुभूषणः
Very beautiful. Anyone would like to recite?
तितिक्षवा कारुणिकाः सुहृदा सुहृदः सर्वदेहिनाम् अजातशत्रवा शान्ता साधवा साधुभूषणः.
Very beautiful. Thank
Thank
you. Anyone else want to go?
तिथिश्रवः करुणिकः सुदृशा सर्वदेहिनाम् अजातशत्रुवा शान्तः साधवा साधुभूषणः.
Beautiful. Another?
तितिक्षवः कारुणिकाः सुहृदन् सर्वदेहिनाम् अजातशत्रवः शान्तः साधवा साधुभूषणाः. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Yeah. Next.
तितिक्षवः कारुणिकाः शुद्धः सर्वदेहिनाम् अजातशत्रवः शान्तः साधवः साधुभूषणः.
The devotee, please take your turn.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी. तितिक्षवाः कारुणिकाः सुहृदा सर्वदेहिनाम् अजातशत्रवः शान्ताः साधवा साधुभूषणाः. हरे
Very
कृष्ण.
beautiful. Thank you, Mataji. Anyone?
तिक्षवकारुणिकाः सुहृदा सर्वदेहिनाम् अजातशत्रवः शान्तः साधवः साधुभूषणः.
Very nice. Next.
Sorry.
Go on, Mataji, please.
Hare Krishna. तितिक्षवः कारुणिकाः सुहृदः सर्वदेहिनाम् अजातशत्रवः शान्ताः साधवः साधुभूषणः.
Nice.
Hare Krishna.
Next, please.
तितिक्षवः कारुणिकाः सुहृदाः सर्वदेहिनाम् अजातशत्रवः शान्ताः साधवाः साधुभूषणाः. Sorry for mistakes.
Very
Thank you.
beautiful. Thank you, Mataji. Anyone wanted to do?
Hare Krishna. तितिक्षवाः कारुणिकाः सुहृदः सर्वदेहिनाम् अजातशत्रवः शान्ताः साधवः साधुभूषणः Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Anyone?
Titikshava karunika shurta sarvadehinam ajata shatrava shantaha sadhava sadhubhushanaha.
Very beautiful, Mataji. Okay. Anyone else?
तितिक्षवः करुणिकाः सुहृदः सर्वदेहिनाम् अजातशत्रवः शान्ताः साधवः साधुभूषणः. Hare Krishna, Babuji.
Hare Krishna, very nice. Okay. Anyone else wanted to do? Okay, thank you so much. Okay, so it's so beautifully once we get into that one. We understand what is the ornaments of a sadhu means titikshavaha, karnikaha, suhridaha, sarvadehinam, ajata shatravaha, shantaha, sadhavaha, sadhu bhoshanaha. Like Krishna is a bhoshana bhoshanangam. Likewise, sadhu ornaments are like this. Okay, that's why when we associate with the sadhus, they are mayananyena bhavena bhaktin kurvanti edhram. मत्कृते त्यक्तकर्माणः त्यक्तस्वजनबान्धवाः मदाश्रय कथामृष्टाः शृण्वन्ति कथयन्ति च तपन्ति विवस्तापनैतान् मद्गतचेतसः त एते साधवः साध्वी सर्वसङ्गविवर्जिताः सङ्गहतेषु अतिते प्राज्ञः सङ्गदोषा हराहिते. When one has to pray that I wanted to association of a saintly person, then what happens? Whereas we go through in the society to do and so many of material affairs, and then we may get the sangadosha. Sangadosha means I want to do this, I don't want this person is good, this person. So many dualities will be somewhere or other contaminated. When we come in contact with the saintly person, sangadosha hara ite. Because they are sarva sangha vivarjitaha. They do not have any attachment. When we associate with them, we also inherit their qualities. Okay, this is satam prasangan mama veer samvedo bhavanti hrutkana rasayana kataha tad joshanadu asu apavargavatmini shraddha ratihi bhakti anukramishyati. In such a way, one will gradually elevate himself in this transcendental platform. That's why proper association with a saintly person, even for a moment, one attains all perfection. Okay, so, and somehow or other, if one saintly person achieves his favor, then the entire mission of one's human life is fulfilled. Okay, then he does not have to go in a circles again. Janma mrityu jara vyadi dukkha dosha. He does not come to the miseries. This material world is full of miseries. Okay, so in our personal experience, we have a actual proof of this statement of Manu. So this is again Srila Prabhupada is describing how he has met Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaja. And later on, in the first meeting itself, at the time Prabhupada was a Grihastha, and Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami, he instructed him to go and preach message Bhagavad Gita Krishna Katha in the Western world. So, and there was no preparation for this, but somehow or other, he decided, and by his grace, we are now engaged in executing his order. So everything came into existence by the words of a saintly person. Because whenever saintly person or the Lord speaks, it will never go false. And saintly person says, a saintly person who is of pure, न भारते मेंगम वृषोपलक्षिते न वै क्वचिन्मे मनसो मृषागतिः न मे हृषिकानि पतिं सत्पते इनमे सुरत्कंचवता दुतो हरिः. Lord Brahma says to Narada Muni, "O Narada, my word never become false because I am always keeping the Lord in my heart. न भारते मेंगम वृषोपलक्षिते न वै क्वचिन्मे मनसो मृषागतिः." My heart will never ever go fall down from the transcendental position. So Brahma says to Narada Muni, "Name hushikani patanti satpate." This is also very beautiful shloka. It comes again. when Narad Muni was inquiring from Lord Brahma about his transcendental position, what is his, why he is always in the meditation. At the time he speaks about the Lord. So here, when the saintly person speaks, his word will come into true, as Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami did, and then here Prabhupada executed that one, executing his order. It is now we see the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. It is now taking all over the world the transcendental position, giving an opportunity for the conditioned souls. So thus, it is actually a fact that if one meets a saintly person, completely engaged in transcendental duties and achieves his favor, then one's life mission becomes complete. For this one, what we need to do? We need to execute austerities and penances. Duty is the first thing, that is waking up early in the morning and perform the duties. What is the duties? Coming to the temple room and offering the prayers to the Lord and decorating the deities, offering flowers, fruits, and then greeting and Guru Vandana. These are Mangalachara prayers, early morning and also evening. So this one, we do Abhyasa Yoga Yuktena Chetasana Nigamina. One has to continuously perform. That is called Tapasya. When he is complete without any material motive. Ahitoki Apratihata. Without more material motives and without interruptions. This is Savai Pumsam Paro Dharmo Yeto Bhaktir Adhokshaje Ahituki Apratihata Yatma Suprasidati Yatma Suprasidati. That person. This is the perfection of human life. Yatma Suprasidati. Okay, so what is not possible to achieve in thousands of lives can be achieved in one moment if there is an opportunity to meet a saintly person. That's why many of people, knowingly or unknowingly, wherever the saintly person, we all go behind them. In my childhood, I remember that unknowingly or unknowingly, when there are Ayyappa Swami devotees, they wear the vow and diksha. At the time, everyone are just going in the states and going and everyone are worshipping them. And children, as a children, we used to lie on the floor, they cross on top of our bodies so that the dust of their feet fall on us. So we just were praying, I want this one, like my children. But this is the whenever saintly persons are going on, we go and then fall in front of them. This is so auspicious, just to receive the dust of the feet of those devotees. Again, it is in the Bhagavatam. Saunakadi says that Jivacheva Bhagavatangreenum Najhatu Matyeba Labeta Yestu Sri Vishnu Padhyam Manustulisyaha Swasinchava Yestu Naveda Gandham. If one does not receive the dust of the lotus feet of devotee, he is just like a Jivachavaha. Even though he is a living, he is a dead body. Jivacheva Bhagavatangreenum Najhatu Matyeba Labeta Yestu. In his lifetime, he has not received. He is a Jivachava. And if he has not smelled the tulsi leaves, which is offered at the lotus feet of the Lord, he is also swasanchod, even though he is breathing shava. He is a dead body. Okay, these are the Vedic injunctions. So these are the statements of the Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, so one always try to associate with the saintly person and try to dissociate with oneself from the common man. Common man means who is Gruhamedi. Because by one word of a saintly person, one can be liberated from material entanglement. So that's why Tato Dustangam Musurja Sattu Sajjet Buddhiman Santa Eva Chindanti Manovyasanga Mukti Bihi. Tato Dustangam Musurja. One has to leave the bad association. Who is bad association? Materialistic people who are just economic development and doing so many things, business and all those things, without any Krishna consciousness. Such kind of people are Dusanga. Tato Dustanga Musurja Satsujajeta Buddhiman Santa Eva Chindanti Manovyasanga Mukti Bihi. Okay, Krishna says to Buddhava, one has to take the association of the Satsanga. Tato Satsangan Mukta Dustango Hatum Notsa Hate Buddha Kityamanam Yashoyasya Sapkurdakanya Rochanam. So the Goswami says about the Pandavas. Because they have got association of Krishna, they could not tolerate. Tasmin yasadiha pardaha saheran virham katam darshana samlapa sayanasana bhojanaihi. They're always with Krishna. They cannot even tolerate even few moments of separation. When Krishna was moving from Hastinapura to Dwaraka, Pandavas and all the family members of Kuru, they could not tolerate. Okay. But because of the Satsanga, this is Satsangat Muktada Sango Hatmnotsa Hate Buddha Kityamanam Yasho Yasya Sakradakanyerochanam. Okay, so this is how by word, if we hear a saintly person has the power because of his spiritual advancement to give immediate liberation to the conditioned soul, one will come to the senses what about his position. So here Manu admits that all his doubts are now over because Kadama has very kindly described the different duties of the individual souls. Okay, so likewise Prabhupada is explaining here. Okay, and Tava Sandarshana Deva Chinname Sarva Samsayaha Yat Swayam Bhagavan Pritya Darsha Dharma Maha Dirikshishoho. Likewise, Swayam Bhamanu is addressing to Kadama Prajapati. And also here when once Arjuna he was also, because of separation from Krishna, he was also lamenting and crying because he separated as Krishna departed. And then remembering Krishna's words, Bhagavad Gita, Gitam Bhagavata Dhyanam, Yettat Sangramam Uddhani. There, he was, by remembering that knowledge, he was freed himself from the lamentation, remembering those words. Okay, so that is Sarvasam. This is Vishoko Brahma Sampatya Sanchinadvaita Samsayaha. Sanchinadvaita Samsayaha. No more doubts because he has got that knowledge, transcendental knowledge. Pains will automatically come every day without inviting. Some problems will come. Automatic problems, but when the problems come, we must have some kind of weapons to counteract those problems. That is called Brahma Sampatti, transcendental asset. With that one can counteract any other thing. Of course, that even though that is not duty, but automatically he knows what to do without much endeavor. Okay, so that is in such a one will be freed from all kinds of doubts. Okay, I shall stop there, and I request the devotees, if you have got any questions, kindly ask, or if you wanted to share anything, kindly share. If you wanted to correct anything, kindly do so. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, may I ask?
Yes, Mataji,
You
please.
mentioned about correcting, but there is no way we would be correcting because whatever you say is just amazing. But I have a question. The previous verse, was it number 4?
Yes.
This one? Oh, yeah. The first paragraph, the last line, I think it's about the energies. So it's his energies which act, and the energies we are talking about is like his internal and external, like Yogmaya and Mahamaya, those kind of energies, or what are we talking about here, please?
Here there are, one is internal energy and external energy. External energy is the Durga Devi. She manages this Srishti Sthiti Pralaya Sadhana Sektareka Chaya Vyasya Bhunani Bhipatti Durga Ichchanurupam Apiyasya Cha Chestyate Sa Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Material energies and also spiritual energies. And in the spiritual energies, again, it is described like the Hladini Shakti, Sandhini Shakti. Those are also described in the this one, Goloka chart, the beautiful one again. In this one, there in the Krishna's expansion. So here, some part of it may be explained here. When he was in this one. So here one is the Hladini Shakti. Actually, it is described nicely by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Hladini Shakti, Sambit Shakti. After that, okay, I think something is going on. Yes, okay. Okay, so here his expansions here, and then here there are okay, it is not mentioned here, but in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is described vividly there. Here in this one, it is of the material world. Here, his energies are working in this material world. That means material energy. Different energies acting upon one another. And our body is the material energy. And three material modes are another energy. They are acting on our bodies. But प्रकृतेः कर्माणि गुणैः कर्माणि सर्वशः अहंकार विमूढात्मकताहम् इति मन्यते. And what about us? We are simply just placed in this material body. Purushah prakristhopi bhungte tad gunan. That one also described in the 13th chapter. So here a person is placed, I think it is the 14th chapter. Karanam gunasangasya sadasajjoni janmasu. Okay. Where is that one? It is 14th chapter. And then here, Purushaha Prakrustopi Karanam Gunasangasya. Gunasangasya, I think. Gunasangasya. Okay, I think I don't find that one easily. I don't know where it is. Karanam Guna. Can anyone remember that shloka? Okay, maybe I don't know. So Gunasamati, I think it is somewhere else, Mataji. So here we are just simply placed in this material world in a particular body. Body not belong to us. The three material, we do not belong to the three material modes of nature. That is one energy. This is another energy. Bhumi rapunalo vayu hukam mano buddhirevacha ahankar vimodhatma. This is ahankara. Iti bhinna prakriti rasta. This is bhinna prakriti. These 8 are different energy. 3 material modes of nature, that is another energy. Okay, these are all material energies. They act on each other, acting upon one another. We are nothing to do with them. We are controlled. We are predominated all the time.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Mataji. Okay, any other questions, dear devotees? Or you want to say anything else? Okay, if there are no questions, no sharings, then we shall conclude our session for tonight and see you in the next session. Okay, we shall conclude.
Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Thank you, Prabhuji, for that wonderful class.
Thank you so much for the wonderful class.
Prabhuji, for
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.